Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Ethan.
Game's plot takes Ethan Winters to Louisiana
You were right.
because he receives a message from his wife Mia, who has been missing for 3 years. Of course, Mia warns Ethan not to come there, but what does this stupid Ethan do?
Stay away.
He goes there anyway.
Hello?
Hey, it's Ethan.
Oh, hey. You alright? You just disappeared the other night.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's Mia. She's not dead, she's alive. She's back.
They found her? How? What happened?
I don't know. Look, I don't know how, but she's back. She's back somehow.
When he gets to Louisiana, he finds an abandoned house. This was the place this message was sent from. Exploring through this seemingly abandoned house, Ethan finds Mia imprisoned in the basement.
Are you alright?
You shouldn't be here.
What do you mean? You contacted me.
No, I wouldn't.
During their escape, Mia is possessed by an unknown force and attacks Ethan. This forces Ethan to kill her. You come that far to kill your wife. After a while, Mia is revived herself because she's a nasty undead creature, motherfucker. Plus, she cuts Ethan's hand off like it's nobody's business. But in this game, you can staple your limbs back on. Which I think is really great, because if your wife is undead and you're a lefty, you will need this hand in the evening. You will soon learn that Mia is held captive by Baker's family. They live in this shithole and they're kind of undead people. They cut off each other's limbs and they eat some nasty shit. Baker family who knows nothing about baking. And whatever you do, your ammunition doesn't take them down. During a game you receive mysterious phone calls, and after a while she reveals her identity. She is the baker's daughter. And yes, I'm going to spoil a lot in this review.
You gotta get out of that house.
I'm not going to go into details with the storyline, you just have to play the game yourself. And believe me, the storyline is great and intriguing. It keeps you motivated to play till the end. And like most Resident Evils, even after completing the game unlocks several different items for you to make the next playthrough even funner. First unlock is Madhouse difficulty. This makes the game even harder. Item locations have been changed, and to top it off, the game will autosave far less often. Plus, you have to collect and carry cassette tapes in order to save your game progress. Really similar to ink ribbons from previous Resident Evil games. You will also unlock new guns, the secret defense, which can reduce your damage taken by enemies. There even should be a possibility to unlock running shoes by finishing a game under 4 hours. My first run was approximately 10 hours or so doubling my speed in easy setting might be possible. This game does have a really good replay value. You can also collect different files and notes and Mr. Everywhere statues. And some of them are hidden in the most bizarre places. I was lucky enough to find them all, although they can be found on multiple playthroughs as well. You can also find ancient coins lying around the house, but they are also hidden in weird places. The more you find, the better for you, because those coins unlock bird cages, which contain health boosts and weapons. Even a magnum is hidden in a cage. Not that magnum. I suggest you to open this cage most definitely. This gun is needed. I really wish that there was more of those cages to open. I got my magnum and the only thing left behind was shit. You will also find treasure pictures, which show the location where a treasure has been hidden. Treasures are mostly bullets and gun repair kits and other stuff. First hour of the game was scary because I didn't know what to expect. I hate horror games, I really hate horror games. I tried to avoid them on all costs. After this first hour, I had shat my pants twice.
I told you to stay out of here!
But luckily from this point on, everything was becoming more predictable. There was far less surprising jump scares. There were more ambient noises and cupboard doors closing and floorboards squeaking. That kind of shit. And believe me, this is enough for me. I don't want to change my trousers in every 15 minutes. The scariest part for me in this game was going into the morgue and first encounters with molten enemies. Those creatures were scary as fuck and they reminded me of enemies from Resident Evil 4. I think they were called regenerators or something. Those molten were scary as fuck. They were always standing in the dark or dropping down from ceilings behind you and making nasty noises or opening their fucking huge mouths. One molten idiot really made me laugh. This one here. Look at this idiot. He fell on his head. Here, look again in slow motion. What an idiot. Oh. If you get used to those scary moments, it is actually not as much horror game as it is action. That's why I call it action puzzle creeper game. You mostly solve puzzles like these over here. Rotate till the shadow matches. Or this one here. Open those oven doors in the right order. But most of the time you just need to figure out how to get a key to get to the different room. In every room there is something to collect, like bullets or herbs or whatever. Mostly you run out of your backpack space, which is terrible. It makes me sick not to pick up everything. So you have to choose which one to take with you now, which one you put in your box. Which I love that there is a box. Sometimes I go between back and forth the room and the box several times just to pick up everything. Who knows when I'm going to need this shit. Luckily you find upgrades for your backpack. But even in the end of the game you don't have maximum amount of space in your backpack. There are still 2 rows missing, that's 8 slots. But still, try to collect everything you can. Even if it takes more time, you will probably use it in the end. Maybe not on easy setting, but definitely the harder ones. There is a part in the end, which has really narrow corridors. I mean, they are tight as nun's vagina.
Well, I feel this can be settled by a simple vote.
Collect all the bombs and all the ammo and lives you can, because most of them you're going to use there. I really love boss fights. They have put some effort into it this time. All the bosses are basically Baker family members on different mutation stages. I mean, look at this fucker. Jesus Christ, shoot the eyeballs.
Sorry! Get your ass back to the house! I will deal with you later!
And even the granny wants piece of this action. There are 2 different endings that you can choose from, but my choice was obvious. Not going to spoil it for you. Okay, the final point. Graphics. Yes, in the house everything looks decent. Shadows and lighting and everything is cool. But when it becomes to nature, they fucked it up. I'm not getting into stems or trees or whatever, but look at those leaves. I mean, I've seen better leaves on Crash Bandicoot. Yes, maybe Capcom thought, oh, no one's going to look there, you know, let them be. But I looked, and I was disappointed. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I mean, look those cool old days, when game makers put some effort into making them. They didn't have that much to offer in graphics, but they did it at gameplay. My favorite Resident Evil ever, and I would still play it. And even this one had more content than the latest one. Do you remember your soiled pants when the Nemesis attacked you from the window? And I hope some of you remember Alone in the Dark as well. Because here you actually explore a mansion, which is really similar to latest Resident Evil. Alone in the Dark also had similar puzzles. Biohazard has come really close to those games in the olden days. And I would gladly suggest it to any fan of Resident Evil. For me, it's the third best in the series. And don't go see the movie if you're suffering from epilepsy. Only go if you enjoy torture. I'm really happy I played through this Resident Evil, and I would gladly do it once or twice more. If I'd have to rate it, I would give this game 8 out of 10. Much appreciated, Capcom. I hope you enjoyed this review.
But now it's over.
I'm Sillyllamaz. Thanks for watching. Till next time.